This is Andre from Peace Talks, and I am here with
Caitlin Richards,
Will Dalton,
Anthony Mercer,
Nathan Oates,
and we are live at the Hip Hop Symposium. First off, who are some of your favorite hip hop artists of all time?
Don't get me started. So, favorite of all time, Tupac. Tupac, absolutely.
That's facts.
I love Tupac.
You know what's crazy? I actually need to get well versed with his music.
Do you really?
Yup. I'm gonna say that straight up. And I feel like that's bad because I don't, it's not like a matter of disrespect.
Yeah.
I just didn't grow up in that time period. Like, I didn't start listening to music from the 90s and 80s era, even though I respect it as maybe the best era in hip hop, because that's when like the culture was like probably at its peak. You know what I'm saying? As far as like being straight up honest, new, and like the best thing out, you know, since sliced bread and stuff like that.
Right.
I know for me, my favorite artist is Meek Mill. Really good rap out of Philly. A lot of good rappers come out of Philly. One of the reasons why I actually like him, I know with music, I kind of align myself with people who I can relate to. I can relate to the music. And so if you look at, you know, his life and his upbringing and my life and my upbringing, we have a lot of things in common. So that's why I really, you know, like his music and like him as an artist.
You?
I don't really listen to a lot of hip hop, to be honest.
No, that's okay. Everybody has their own ears, so no judgment here. Well, mine is Andre 3000. That may be ironic, but it's not because his first name's Andre. It's just, even though he hasn't put out technically a solo album, even though I call it Love Below a solo album, even though it's compacted with speaker box, he does everything that your favorite rapper would do and better, in my opinion. And he has a diverse amount of flows, cadences, and even type of rapping that he does. That's why he's my favorite.
That's smooth. I would definitely have to say mine's is it's a tie. It's a tie between J. Cole and Kendrick. As far as message, I feel like J. Cole has a picture perfect mindset through his lyricism. And then when it comes to actual like wordplay and like knowing how to rap, I feel like Kendrick is Mount Everest of what it means to be a lyrical MC in the game.
I love both of those, J. Cole and Kendrick, for sure.
I'm more of a Kendrick fan, even though I'm from here. That's just me though, cause not his head. But still, I'm more of a Kendrick fan because even though J. Cole, he does what he does, but sometimes it may not be it may be a little underwhelming because we know what he could do because we heard what he can do. But he doesn't always do that, and that's why sometimes I may not want to put him above Kendrick because he doesn't always bring up that what he could do.
Quick question.
So,
do you think a J. Cole and Kendrick album would actually be fire, or will it like clash too much?
it depends. Because back when they said they were going to do it, I thought it would have been fire. Now, I don't know.
See, that's the thing. It's like you're going to hear a whole lot of bars, which is going to be like crazy, or you're going to hear like a contrast to where one does the hook like Forbidden Fruit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Off of Born Center. It's just like, that's a hard topic to try. I don't even know.
I personally, you know, didn't think it was going to work from the beginning. I think, you know, both of the artists, they can collab and do a song together, and it may be really good. But if you're talking about a body of work, like an album, I don't think it's going to work at all because, you know, you're talking about kind of like the same kind of people. You know, opposites attract. But we have people that's like the same, and they're both perfectionists, and they're both really good MCs. A lot of times we don't really see that, you know, really working out. That's just like having Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan on the same team.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I don't think that's gonna
I
work.
like the way you put that.
I don't think that's gonna work at all. And so they're good artists in their respect. I personally prefer J. Cole over Kendrick. I'm not really a Kendrick guy. I like the way Cole delivers his flow. I like his subject matter. I like the way he raps, his wordplay, his cadence. He's very diverse with his flow, and so that's why, personally for me, out of those two, I prefer J. Cole.
Now, Dreamfield Fest. How much impact do y'all think that's gonna have on the community around here?
I think it's gonna have a huge impact on Raleigh. I think as far as the local economy is gonna be good. We have a lot of people, come in and staying in hotels. A lot of people going to a lot of different restaurants around the city, and so I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good for a lot of students to be able to have that experience, to kind of kick it, have some great music, meet some new people. Networking is huge. People coming from all different areas to come to Raleigh, kind of hear a great artist or a great series of artists. So I think that'll do wonders for our local community.
Yeah, just that platform, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually establishes something as far as, like, this is the first one, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, when I bought the ticket, I was thinking this was going to be some glorified concert. Like, I didn't even think about, like, 40,000 people are going to be here. You know what I'm saying? This, like, is something that I feel like is going to make a huge impact on North Carolina in general. Because to be honest with you, we have the opportunity for thousands of people from around the nation or around the world that's coming to this one event. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to be a huge montage of, like, culture and, like, diversity, but all there for the, like, one cause, which is to listen to some great music. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's how I feel about it.
Now, we all know hip hop has gotten a bad rap at times in our life. Maybe they link it to shootings or people getting beat up or profanity. But what do y'all think the impact of hip hop has had on y'all or people around y'all personally?
I think nowadays, hip hop is starting to change, and I'm not gonna touch the music aspect. I'm just gonna touch the artist aspect. I believe nowadays, artists are now starting to turn more into role models now. Not all of them, but I believe more and more we're starting to see more people step up and be role models for their community. If you look at people like, what Jay-Z has done for his community, look at people like Meek Mill, J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Chance the Rapper. We're starting to see a trend of 21 Savage as well, rappers starting to use their wealth and their income to try to change the community, trying to get their audience to start investing money now. I think that's big. I think that's a new kind of wave the rappers are trying to do now. Hey, let's put the chains down. If you get 100,000, don't just go out there and buy the hottest car you can buy. Go invest some of that money. Turn 100,000 to 500,000. Turn 500,000 into $1 million, and create some generational wealth for your family. I believe that's the new wave and what it's getting into, and so that is the impact that I see on the community.
I agree. Just from, like, my little brother's standpoint, he's 15, and I think in that generation, like, especially in high school, there's a different connection than there is, like, with a different generation. I mean, I think it's a lot more personable, like, the things that he listens to. It's, like, a really, like, hard impact that you can, like, connect with that I think is really cool. That's, like, from the music standpoint, like, through the lyrics and stuff like that, which I think it's interesting and neat.
Now, what are y'all opinions on different kinds of rapping? We know we have the conscious rap, or the fast rap, or the not so lyrical rap. What are some of y'all favorite kinds of rapping?
I like conscious music.
Yeah, me too. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's just me. The mumble rap is just, a lot of those mumble rappers are just one-hit wonders. To be honest, not to say that they don't have the talent. We're living in an age where a lot of young people just like that kind of music,
exactly.
man. It's just a wave, man. People like that stuff, and it sells. You know, whatever makes money is what's going to get promoted. So, like I said, I'm more of a conscious rap kind of guy, but some people actually like the mumble rap music. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan.
I feel like I get it. It's like sometimes it's like some people just don't want to listen to. Nobody wants to get a lecture. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't feel as if like they need to be spoken to in terms of like, hey, this, that, and the third is what you need to do, and I'm trying to learn from that way. Sometimes people listen to music just to vibe, you know what I'm saying? It's basically like the beat kind of dictates what, as far as mumble rap is concerned, you know what I'm saying? They're more so listening to the vibe of the whole entire track instead of listening to the words of the artist, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like certain artists in mumble rap convey a feeling rather than trying to like establish a message, you know what I'm saying? Like you get a different feeling from listening to Kodak than listening to like Kendrick, you know what I'm saying, or like Vince Staples, or like somebody lyrically driven. And I feel like that's the biggest disparity because I don't know, it's like there's no way you can like deny the fact that there's multiple genres in rap. It's just hard when you try to all like have it into one, you know what I'm saying? Like hip hop can mean something different to somebody than rap, period. So that's how
Yeah, I agree. Like everything has a time and a place, right? One moment you may want to listen to something that's going to make you think, but sometimes you just want to put something on that you just want to have fun, bang your head in your car, bump the volume all the way up and just be a little ignorant, you know? But I feel like everything has a time and a place. And I feel like some people, fans anyway, maybe older and younger, maybe don't understand that's where the disconnect happens at. Because you know how on the internet you see older people arguing younger people over their rap taste. But at the end of the day, it's their rap taste. One person's going to like Tupac, but the other person's going to like Lil Pump. And that's fine. Because nobody has to force somebody to listen to either or. Everybody has their own ear and their own interests. So if people understood and like to have conversations about why, per se, there would be better dialogue and intellect between fans and just people. Because at the end of the day, we're all people and humans. So we all have a choice of what to do and what to do. And if we have better conversation and want to actually listen instead of just talk all the time, then we could have better unity between the two.
Right.
So we do have a history of hip hop in North Carolina, whether people believe it or not. Do you think it's been highlighted at all as some of our history besides P.D. Pablo? Because we do have, I don't know if y'all heard of this group called Little Brother with Knife Wonder, Big Pooh, and Fonte.
Brother Knife Wonder.
Oh, Ninth Wonder, yeah,
Teaches
but
over
not Little Brother.
Well, when he first, I don't know when he first came out, but on his come up, he had a group called Little Brother, and it was him, Fonte, and a rapper Big Pooh. They all had a group. They put out 2 albums, one called The Listening and the other called The Minstrel Show. They are from and out of North Carolina.
That's what's up. I gotta look into them.
And these albums came out around 2004, 2005-ish, in that era. So I feel like there should be a little more emphasis on people around the area to promote the actual artists that come out of here. Now we have, y'all probably heard of DaBaby, right?
Yeah. He's blowing up. He's national now.
Yeah.
I'm from Charlotte, you know. I'm from Charlotte, so I'm aware of DaBaby. I think a lot of times within North Carolina, and this doesn't go for any other state, I'm just basically speaking on my experiences. with people who are musicians in music in North Carolina and primarily in Charlotte. What's very difficult is for a lot of young up and coming artists to get the support. A lot of times we have people who may rap or who may be musicians, and we don't want to lend a hand to any other artists. We don't want to say, well, and we have and it's such a high quantity of people. It's so many people who rap in Charlotte. You know, I grew up there, and I feel like all of my friends have turned musicians after high school. And that's not to say that they're not good. However, if everybody, it's such a field with so much competition, it's not enough support. You know, and just speaking on the baby, I think, you know, he's an up and coming artist. He's pretty good. I think that, you know, where the environment in which he came from kind of shapes his music, which is good. He has, personally, if I'm to give my own opinion, I think he's a good artist. He does have some stains with me, though, and I do love to support Charlotte artists, but he does have some stains. He's a guy which has said he's from the streets, and he does some things that I don't really quite agree with. You know, when he's out concerts and things like that, or maybe out in his public life that I don't quite agree with. So I think that for me, it kind of hurts me wanting to be a huge fan and be all in on his music.
Okay. So about materialism, we all know, we all see it. How do y'all feel about the materialism in hip hop, glorifying the chains, the money, and all the products that they swing around and support?
I understand it. I know that in order to catch that attention, to have the clicks, you gotta have a lot of things around you that promotes yourself as somebody that is marketable to everybody. And the universal language nowadays is money, straight up, like it has always been, until something changes, which I doubt is gonna happen anytime soon. The thing that kind of concerns me is, like, when you're listening to it as an impressionist, or like being impressionable, it's like sometimes it's hard to know where that thing came from. You know what I'm saying? Where all those things came from, which is the hard work put behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I personally gear towards artists like trying to actually like show more so the work ethic behind getting the things. Like, you can show the things too, but don't show them just to like brag about them. You know what I'm saying? Show them to have those as pillars of motivation for you to like stay on your hustle and stay on your grind. Because if you go out and spend $50,000 on a chain and you don't got no money in the bank, then you're gonna feel empty about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna hold any weight with you at the end of the day. You're just gonna look at that, and then you're gonna start looking to external sources as motivation instead of yourself, which can lead down like a path of like destruction as far as like depression and like anxiety. Because when all those things are gone, you feel like you have nothing, instead of like building your own wealth inside of you. You know what I'm saying? It's basically what's in the brain and not really what's around you. You know?
I think for some artists and for some people, we always have to give things with context and understand things with context. A lot of rappers, why do they wear these chains or these, you know, high-end clothing and things like that? You got to understand where these people come from. You have to be able to understand, man, when you grow up in some of these environments where you feel as though you have been oppressed and there wasn't a lot of options, and you grew up poor, and somehow you had this amazing God-given talent. You was able to make it out of your situation, you was able to make it out your community, and now you can afford these things your mind could never have dreamed of grasping when you was a child, and you have those things. So I think that's why we see the glorified chains and money and all this different kind of stuff. Because if you got to understand, man, if you came from nothing and I got all this right here, like, yo, look what I just did. Like, I feel like, to me, this was something that was almost, you know, impossible, but I was able to make it happen. To mention on a different point, we're starting to see how the people who run these music companies, these high-end billionaires, I would say, they don't mind the glorification of the chains, the buying the $450,000 car, buying the Wraith. They don't mind those things. Here is the issue that comes into play when a lot of African American artists start investing their money into businesses, land, property, and things like that. When we are able to take the money that we obtain and we put it in the community to build it up for black folks, then I believe that is when a problem occurs. So when you look at a good brother like Nipsey Hussle, and everybody has their own kind of conspiracy of why he was shot and killed. I'm gonna just sit here and say what he was doing, and I'm gonna try to make a connection. The man owned 18 businesses in LA. He was from Crenshaw. And so what he wanted to do piece by piece was, we want to own business by business and take the neighborhood back and have it be black owned. The man invested in STEM programs for the local people in his area, which isn't a suburb or rich area. This is a pretty much a very poor community. I'm going to invest in STEM programs that are going to be free. And I want to allow these kids to have an opportunity to go to Silicon Valley and work in this tech world where they can have a future for themselves. And so I believe when we start to do that, and we start to push those narratives, then that becomes a problem.
I feel
because we're with buying those businesses and investing in education, now we're taking away from some of the opportunities from some of the people in the majority. And so, his death, like I said, was tragic. And people start to ask, why was it that he died? And, a lot of people will tell you, man, it was just his friend was a hater that just killed him. We have to be able to open up our minds here. You have to be able to open up our minds and really understand what the goal is in mind. And what a lot of people don't understand, he was a part of the gang. But what a lot of people don't understand about the streets and gang life is that there is a code that is applied. There's politics within gang life and politics in the streets. And for me, I know that one of the most number one rule of the streets is you never want to make the block hot. You never want to make the block hot. And what does that mean? If the block is hot, that means you can't sell no drugs, you can't do no illegal activity, you can't move no weight, you can't do nothing. The whole operation is shut down if the block is hot. Ever since Nipsey died, and we can look at our social media, the block is very hot right now. Police are there. They're doing military drills in downtown LA now. And so what we're beginning to see is in an environment where the gang life is chilled. The violence is chilled in LA. There hasn't been gang wars in a very long time. And now we're starting to see with his death, things starting to change. And I believe the majority wants things to go back to the way that they were beforehand. So, I do think that the narrative is changing, in hip hop and with the glorification of the chains and things like that. A lot of rappers are like, hey man, I'm starting to put these chains down. I want to be able to have something for my son. I want to be able to have something for my family to own and look upon it and create generational wealth. That is the new narrative. The new narrative in hip hop is generational wealth for all people, especially black folks in the hip hop game.
And that's the end of Peace Talks Live today. Thank y'all for listening, and have a good one next time. Peace out.
I feel perfect, surrounded by serpent circles. I feel like I'm in the loop. The earth is a serpent to the circle, then the world wouldn't go round. That's the life I feel like y'all don't need to wait. You loving me too. I see the proof. Alright. I was wondering if death is so close to slumbering, then why should I ever let the sun come in? God, let me be real for you. If life is fake, what is real to you? But I feel like you must be black, cuz if I was fake, they probably would've killed me too. I often think my habits gon' have me asking for forgiveness. I hope I change. I see daggers dripping with open brains and black and liquid. I believe aliens be kidnapping and switching bodies with them. Yeah, they be trapping. My cousin is cool, I was just chilling with them. But I'm so paranoid, I probably snapped it and turned around. I have plans to kill me if you ever start acting different. I know I have problems, but I deal with them. Life is poker and I'm the joker. No Heath Ledger, I feel different. I'm still tripping cause my high school partner went to prison before they even got to give him a visit. Damn, snakes is gonna leave the jungle for faith and believe in hunger. My mom just as paranoid as me. She think we hiding secrets from her. Pause, I think my enemy is hiding secrets from me. I carved the light, kicking through carbonite, seeking the guarded mice. Prison cell be cool as blocks of ice. Untap the world, and I just untie my mind. But I hate to warn ya, snakes adorn ya. Me and myself talking different voices. We all make different choices. Damn, they never correlate. But damn, I hope it's good because I can get the poison. Equality and optical illusion on the obstacle course. The humans race, the humans race. To guys, we look like fumes in space. To whom embrace, we should all be good. The system should do what you expect it to do. The present should be what you expect it to move. I gave you a rainbow for your birthday. I expect you to lose your mind. Lose your mind. I'm losing time. I choose this time to do you and mine. It's been fed, but we all enslaved to politics. We all putting poison into them polymers choices, man. I never followed them, ever, or will ever. I would never sure, never lie or never die. I live on the world, whoever side I land on. I hope it is yours. Hope they realize. I think about, think about, thinking about, think about, think about, think about, think about, think about, think about, thinking about, think about, thinking, think about, thinking, think about, think about, think about. I drift away to an empty space between consciousness and a dormant state. I try to listen to boring lectures, so no point pressing. Point break range with shot and investing. I don't know who was invested, but it's me. I got no clues.